Now, this is interesting. I know what this means, but to be able to do a financial projection, this is where the team comes into play. Having someone like Jim Pietrola go through a sales and marketing plan and go through exquisite detail and actually be able to show investors that, yes, we'll be able to realistically start selling the instrument in mid-2011 or 2011 and actually break even in 2013 and have real meat behind it. I could have made this, I'm sure. But to actually have the rationale to show you how this can occur is important. For a faculty member, I feel that to get things across the gap, you have to be involved, but stick to what you do best, which is the science, and let the professionals, accounting people, do their job, and the intellectual property lawyers do their job, and let the CEU do their job. Don't be the founder, CEO, accountant of your company. Now, there are success stories, but it's extremely difficult. So then you also have to be able to come up with a business model, and quite simply, for Apeliotus Vision Science, we want to be an R&D company. We are talking with the 7 largest ophthalmic device companies about establishing a sales and marketing channel. They know how to sell to our customers. We will let them sell to their customers. And then using a contract manufacturer to be able to produce the device. And based upon our market research talking with these companies, we're looking at selling a device such as this for $25,000, what would take less than $3,500 to make it. They'd probably charge us about $7,000. We take the $12,000 between for Apeliotus as our profit to pay our expenses, etc. And then hopefully for the investors that because we're talking to the leading ophthalmic device manufacturers, eventually they're going to get tired of paying this transfer price and they will decide to buy us out, which would be the exit for our investors. So I'm here and I'll ask for money. We're currently raising $500,000 to help us with the FDA clearance. I know at least one of our investors is here. Okay, and do market developing, and we are on the cusp of taking our 4th generation prototype, redesigning it to make it slick and plastic to actually go to sales, and that takes manufacturing engineering. We have the functional prototype. We want to go to right to manufacturing, and so when the time is right, we send that to the contract manufacturer and ramp up sales. I'll conclude this way. From an academia and startup perspective, I mean, there's some similarities. There's some real skills as a faculty member. 1, you want to work in a high-impact area. 2, you want to solve an unmet need. Unfortunately, in academia, you don't need to solve anything. Just understanding that this research literally came out of trying to understand why older adults have difficulty at night, and whether it was because of their cornea or their lens, or if it was something really with their retina. We would have published a really nice paper, and NIH would say, well, you published 12 papers, you deserve another grant, this is really good. Now, we didn't really solve anything. Research and development. Research and development, as used in the corporate sense, is not anything that we do in academia. It's not discovery science. It's really translational research. True translational research occurs outside of academia in large point. Protecting IP, we talked about, what? I'm not supposed to publish this? Value to investors, what? You got 12 publications, you want money? And the marketing. Marketing, sometimes you should do it in academia. However, in a startup, it's vital. Networking is vital to both. The networking is completely different. In a startup, it's completely and more appropriately face-to-face, and really listening to people who tell you no. And they will tell you why they tell you no, and you should listen to them and learn from them, because that'll make you successful. The fundraising is completely different. The anonymous peer-reviewed grants versus actually pitching in front of people, and both of them are a full-time job. So if you're in an academic institution, you realize you're not taking on a part-time job, and I know this is being videotaped, so Dr. Quillen, this is my 20% effort 1 day a week. But really, 80% of how many hours per week is so it is really taking on a lot if you want to try to push things forward and be successful. And I appreciate your attention today. Thanks.